Yes, welcome back tunjitalks. This is one I've wanted to bring to you for a while. So let's talk about people who win the lottery. Why is it that when most people win the lottery they go broke? Well, I'll tell you. It's because these individuals, they don't have a set of behaviours, or they don't have a system that will enable them to keep the money or grow the money. Now, if the average person won 100 million in the lottery, what would the average person do? More often than not, they might say the following: I'm gonna buy a couple of supercars, I'm gonna buy a nice house, maybe a mansion, I'm gonna go to the most luxurious places, travel to the most luxurious places. I'm going to travel in style, so that is first class, that is go to first class lounges, etc. Maybe they might want to fly private, and the average Joe might want to buy lots of designer items. Notice there's no mention of growing the money, there's no mention of learning how to handle these large sums of money. Note that everything I mentioned was spending the money quickly on things that gratify instantly. Whereas if the average Joe, the average person who wins the lottery, if they delayed that gratification, if they probably kept that money in the bank for, let's say, like 6 months, and in that 6 months the average person learned how to handle such a large sum of money, we might find that lottery winners would keep their winnings. There's this great documentary I watched on YouTube, and they followed some lottery winners in the United States. In particular, there's a state in the South, I can't remember what state, but they followed lottery winners who were able to keep their winnings, who were able to retire and live comfortably. And what I learned from that was the following: these people, they delayed the gratification. They researched how to handle large sums of money, and that in itself, that helped to ground them. They didn't become flustered. Oh my goodness, I've got this large sum. What shall I do? What shall I do? Oh, holidays, clothes, cars. Oh no, it's gone. These guys are living comfortably. And that was a really interesting documentary to watch. So if you're interested in money, if you're interested about looking at lottery winners who have been successful with their winnings, check this out. In fact, I'm going to find it and I'll leave the video down in the comments if you're interested in that. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And remember, let's talk about, this has just come to mind, so we're coming back. So in terms of money, if you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki talks about two things. Well, he talks about more than two things, but these two things come to mind right now when it comes to having an understanding of money. He says the following: that an asset is simply something that puts money into your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. And more often than not, people who win the lottery, they focus on liabilities, they focus on things that consistently take money out of their pocket. However, if they focus on more assets, they might find themselves in a better place. And of course, lottery winners, what are they going to spend? They're going to be spending from that lump sum. Whereas someone like Grant Cardone, he's quite well off. And he says, you know what, I don't spend my own money. I remember watching that video. He said, I don't spend my own money. Instead, what he does, he uses the cash flow from his businesses to pay for his lifestyle. So, food for thought. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, Tunji Talkers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Nebraska, a rural state in the heart of America's Great Plains. We travel to Gretna, a quiet little town home to just 5,000 inhabitants. Just off the highway, this small gas station is a hub for local workers. 53-year-old David comes here every day for his morning coffee.
Morning, Joyce.
He's had this routine for almost 20 years. Every day before work at 7:30 a.m., he meets up with his pals Randy and Jerry, two local farmers.
Yeah, these guys are always here, and we come in here and we solve the world's problems every morning. Yeah, never work. Nope.
These three musketeers are still looking for solutions to save the planet. But for the past 5 years, David has had less to worry about. He remembers it like it was yesterday, the day his life changed forever.
I was here in the morning. He went. He come in the door with a lottery ticket in his hand, and he walked over and he threw it right down on the table. And he says, "I hit that son of a gun."
And what was your reaction?
Why couldn't it be me? Why couldn't it be me?
Yeah, I knew him before he won the lottery ticket, and after he won it, now he's my best friend.
Yeah.
Was there a little bit of jealousy?
No, just more realization of the bad luck that I have.
On this day, David won the big bucks.
Thanks, guys.
$62 million. In a matter of seconds, he went from a poor working class man to an elite member of the 1%. He, of course, kept his old friends.
Go check out the shop. Just watch your step down there.
But quit his job as soon as he could. He was working as a mechanic at the workshop just next door.
This is where we do tire repairs, replace tires, did oil changes, cars, trucks, the semis like out there, tractors, farm equipment, anything that has a tire on it.
David was working 2 jobs to get by. 12-hour days for just $2,500 a month.
Send it and trade it in.
He encapsulated what it is to be poor in rural America.
Yep, that's what we do.
Now, David has all the makings of a millionaire. He drives a classic 1972 Dodge Challenger every day. He bought this gigantic $2 million property overlooking the plains. His greatest treasure, however, lies at the bottom of the garden. His workshop, twice as big as his old boss's. This former mechanic still likes to get his hands dirty. This time, it's as a hobby, tinkering with some of the best models.
I'm fairly